All right. Good evening, everybody. I'm Zach,
And I'm Dylan.
and nobody's watching. So that's why today we're going to be doing a Marvel tier list.
You know, ever since they released Endgame, I feel like Marvel has took a more like funny turn.
Yeah.
You know, they're trying to recreate the Guardians of the Galaxy feel.
Yeah.
But I feel like they should be more serious and leave the Guardians, have their own realm of like funny and like being goofy. But the other movies need to be more serious or more like just more gritty, I feel.
Bro. No, I was thinking about it the other day. It's like all the Phase 1, Phase 2 Marvel movies. You know, like they're all superhero movies, right? But they are character like they're focused on one character. If you watch any other Marvel TV show nowadays, nowadays, if you watch any other Marvel TV show nowadays, it just kind of feels like they're focusing on what the next cameo is gonna be.
Yeah.
And all of this felt like it happened so quickly. Like it felt like they were all good or acceptable, or they are all bad with one or two good movies. So that's why today we figured we're gonna go ahead and make a tier list together. You know, I'm probably lesser of a fan than he is. He really likes the Marvel movies. You know, he's seen the majority of them all.
I've seen most, but as I said, the ones of late, have not been very, not been very enjoying to watch. I mean, there has been some that have come out that I do like, I do enjoy, and I get out of the movie, I'm like, damn. Like,
that was fantastic.
That was
yeah.
good.
Or like me with, I'm not gonna spoil it, whichever movie I liked, but we went to go see it the other day or a few weeks ago, and I was it was kind of a mid movie, and then I thought about it and compared it to all the other Marvel movies, and I was like, okay, that was actually a pretty decent movie.
Yeah.
So it's just, it's weird, and that's why we kind of just want to put all of our thoughts onto a screen, I guess, and rank them all. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. If you like what you see, I mean, I know nobody's really watching, but if you like it, go ahead and subscribe, check it out.
Even though you aren't watching, somehow subscribe.
So subscribe.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Let's get into it. Strap on your seatbelts. All right, so here is the whole tier list. I searched far and wide for this tier list. I looked up Marvel movie tier list and clicked the first link. So it looks like it has everything on it. So in alphabetical order.
It doesn't look like a lot, but it's all there.
I know I was expecting a big old list, but yeah. So we just got a whole sentence, I guess. But it's got the Sony movies on it right here, and it's got the Netflix shows.
Now that there's Spider-Man has been released on Disney Plus, so
oh, they're all kind of. Oh, that's right. Well, yeah.
They might have merged a little bit, so maybe that's
with No Way Home, right? It had Daredevil in it.
Yeah.
And it also had Venom. No, it had the no, he was at the end, right?
I don't know.
I don't remember. No, he was at the end of Carnage. He was at the end of Carnage.
Yeah.
And Tom Holland was in it, and then all of the other crazy superheroes were in or supervillains were in No Way Home. So I guess everything here is acceptable. We're good.
Wait, was that kind of like a spoiler alert?
The movie's out for 2 years.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
And
it's been 2 years, okay?
And you're watching a Marvel movie tier list. So what are you doing here? All right, cool. So the first one that we have on here is Ant-Man and the Wasp. Now this is a weird one, right? Because what are your thoughts? I'll say my thoughts on it.
Well, I mean, I think Ant-Man and the Wasp was a not like the greatest, but it was also a fairly decent movie.
It's acceptable.
I like how they introduced her as the Wasp and kind of implemented her in that way, so like a tag team kind of duo, and it.
What was the Wasp's name? Like her actual name?
Oh, wasn't it started with? I thought it started with a G or like.
Dude, I don't. If that's any indication for how the movie was.
Minimal description.
Yeah.
Minimal detail.
But yeah, I feel like this was a weird one. Like I said, it's. The villain was really... Oh, you're thinking G for Ghost. That was the villain's name.
Yeah, Ghost. Right.
Forgettable villain, forgettable... Yeah. It was just like a normal heist movie. And I think the only reason people went to really go watch it was because it was in between Infinity War and the Endgame.
And people were just waiting for the next best thing.
And that's a similar problem with another movie that we're going to talk about in a little bit, Captain Marvel. But like I said... not the best movie. Not... horrible though compared to some of the other ones on here. So you think C tier or D tier?
I give it a C tier because it wasn't like it was like decent, but not like a little bit better than decent. You know, I'd say.
Yeah.
I'd say C tier could be like
like a
it's just
straight
average.
down middle movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
If it had a better villain, I'd put maybe B tier.
Yeah.
Ant-Man though.
Ant-Man was pretty good.
It was a pretty good movie.
It's pretty good because you know the way it introduced like this new kind of character and new kind of like realm of like idea that like there's a scientist out there that was making these Pym particles to shrink humans and
It's goofy.
yeah,
but it
it's
works.
goofy, but it works, and it also kind of like entangles with the Starks.
Yeah.
Tony Stark, like his dad. Like I think he worked for his dad. Like I think maybe at one point.
I think so, dude.
There
The
was,
lore
there
is
was
so
one
much.
point,
Yeah.
because remember in Endgame when they go back in time and they go to the military base. And he goes
Oh,
down and gets
yeah.
extra Pym particles, and he's there.
Oh, that's
or his
right.
dad's there or something
Yeah.
like that.
Okay.
Yeah, so somehow, the crossover was good.
It's cool.
What was the villain for that movie?
Yellow Jacket. It was pretty much Ant-Man, but
yeah.
yellow. You know.
Yeah, that was actually pretty cool.
Yeah, and
I'd say he was a kind of cool villain.
I don't know if you know the whole story for Ant-Man 3, but I'm pretty sure that Yellow Jacket becomes MODOK.
Really?
Yeah, and I don't know like what the correlation of that is. But
that movie reviews were horrible.
I didn't want to check that out.
never went to see
We'll get there soon. So I feel like Ant-Man. I feel like that's a B tier. You agree?
Yeah, B tier.
B tier. Cool. Age of Ultron.
Wait, that's Age of Ultron?
Yeah, this is Age of Ultron. That's Infinity War.
Where's the OG Avengers?
It.
Oh, it's all the way down
Yeah.
here.
Okay.
Well,
I guess. We'll move this. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. First Avengers.
I would say first Avengers. What really popped off? The
Yeah.
Avengers, like, how many more movies are there right now? 3?
I guess it's a quadrilogy.
Yeah, something like that. Like, and the amount of time, like, amount of the movies that they made that really kicked it off and really started off like,
Yeah.
damn, like they had a super big threat that was like,
Yeah.
like in space. Like everyone was like, what the, like, all like the villains weren't really like from that far away. And it was kinda, like, the first big real villain.
Yeah, I feel like there's like a big scope, to this movie, and I feel like it kind of kicked off the whole idea of crossing over movies and telling a single linear story through different characters and movies.
Yeah.
And this was a big deal back in 2012 when this came out. We were both pretty young during that time, so we didn't get to really appreciate it for what it was.
Yeah, we saw it, we're like, oh, it's cool.
Yeah.
Like, but we weren't, we didn't really couldn't appreciate it for what it was.
Exactly. But my dad, my dad has always been a huge comic book guy and knows, all the lore about every single character. And this is a big deal to him. So he watched every single movie and he loved them all. And I remember this was such a big deal. And, both my parents just loved this movie. When I saw it, I thought it was also just a badass action movie.
Yeah.
All the characters are fantastic. Loki is a really cool villain.
Yeah.
So I feel like we gotta put it in A tier because it's really, really good.
Yeah. I feel like Avengers deserves like an A
Yeah,
tier.
but it's not like
It wasn't like S.
it's
tier,
not
like,
it's not the best.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I give it an A.
put it in A tier, and also set up Thanos in the end.
Yeah. Wait, was that the end of that movie?
Yeah, it was the end credits for that movie.
Right.
Yeah.
You see him like go and grab like the gauntlet.
Yeah, where he turns back and
Yeah. Right,
yeah.
Dude, that whole setting up that premise for that, you're like, who's that? Like, I remember when I saw that movie with my
Yeah.
dad, like a long time ago, like whenever it came out, and my dad was like, oh yeah, that's like a different Hulk. That's what he told me.
Yeah, I mean that's reasonable. Yeah.
That's what he told me. Like I guess as a kid, he was like trying to like compare it to something. He's like, well, that's like another Hulk, which he is kind of like that, except
he looks just like it.
More, I guess I could say he's more powerful.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, making such a weird hero just completely normal in like the mainstream is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Age of Ultron is the next one.
Age of Ultron. I don't know. I feel like it was okay. Like
It was alright.
I like the villain idea. How
Yeah.
like it got taken over. He took over Jarvis in the beginning, and he kind of became alive and more self-aware.
I think Ultron is one of the best Marvel villains.
Really?
So yeah, I love not in like the MCU, but just like in general,
Yeah.
like Marvel lore. I think Ultron's one of the coolest. But he does feel underutilized. It does feel kind of like low stakes, I guess.
Yeah, like I feel like he got defeated too easily.
Yeah.
Like I mean, like, but the whole like shot scene of you see like Sokovia going up and like it's like life or death. Like they gotta get this done now, or like the whole thing's gonna like come crashing down, and it's like a horrible event. It's like a meteor hitting Earth. Like,
that was so cool. Yeah,
that was cool.
Oh, and that shot where it's like they're all slow motion.
Yeah,
yeah.
okay, that was pretty
Dude,
dope.
I remember seeing that. How old was I? Maybe like how maybe 11.
Yeah, maybe I don't know.
But I remember just thinking that was the coolest thing I'd ever seen.
Like whenever they were all in the middle, like fighting, it was also slow motion and all that.
Yeah, but they do that better in another movie.
Yeah.
The Endgame, you know.
Yeah. Of course. No, oh, that's the best.
I think maybe this C or B.
I give it a B.
You give it a B tier? All right,
Yeah.
I give it a B tier. Yeah, maybe I need to rewatch it because it has been a while.
Maybe. Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't seen it a bit either. But.
Infinity War. I think this. Personally, I think this is an S tier.
Really?
Well, yeah. Before we even get it, hands down, I think it's probably my favorite.
I like Infinity War because it's kind of like it's hyping everything up. You're like, what's going on? You know.
No, and to see all these characters cross paths. And for a single threat,
like
you know.
The Guardians, cross paths with Peter Parker and Iron Man and all these characters. Like, who are you? Like like that one scene. Like
Yeah.
And then they all find out they're fighting for the same cause.
So cool.
And it was also such a. When I first saw that movie, it was such like a at the end when they all start disappearing.
That was so ballsy,
Everyone
dude.
was like, "Oh
Yeah.
my god!" And then it was like.
I just,
like, what?
I know. I remember I was probably 15 when that movie came out. I remember just coming home like, what just happened?
Yeah.
Like I remember I was doing the dishes after getting home from the movie, and I was just sitting there thinking about it. I was like, no way! Like I can't believe they really killed off all the characters. And if you went on social media, for the whole weekend, that this was what people were talking about.
Yeah,
It was a big deal. This was a massive movie. I mean, can we just talk about Thanos?
Yeah.
He's such I think Thanos is the Darth Vader of our generation.
Yeah, Thanos was such a great character. I loved how they used his background and how he comes into play and how he kind of tangles. His daughter Gamora and Nebula and you already know who they are from the Guardians and it just kind of shows where he comes in and he's a badass. I feel like he's a badass villain.
Yeah.
Smart villain too.
And a reasonable villain. It's
Yeah.
Obviously, you don't want half the universe to get wiped away from existence, but for that good of a villain to kind of have you not completely disregard that idea, for the movie, it's kind of crazy because if it was any other just poorly written villain, he's I want to destroy half the universe. That sounds stupid, but you like the character and you it's interesting, it's cool.
And I feel like his powers weren't too crazy. He just was a very big being and had a super strength almost, and he could throw shit around, but he also he didn't have very many, I don't know, powers that weren't OP.
Yeah, exactly.
Except the Gauntlet was technically OP, but
But have you watched What If?
No.
Okay, well with What If, I'll explain it whenever it starts. He doesn't feel as powerful as the villain in What If. So, I don't know. It just feels like the perfect movie. It feels like.
Yeah.
The heroes and the villain are equal, and you really don't know who's gonna come out on top. Yeah. And then when you find out who does come out on top, it was just mind blowing.
Because whenever at the end when they were kind of she gets, doesn't it kind of reverses it and she puts Vision doesn't die and he gets up and then he comes back, and he takes it away and just kind of twists the story and then.
It's just
the snap.
I think it's that's just you should have aimed for the head, bro.
Yeah.
S tier movie.
All right, I agree. All right, Morbius.
Morbius tier.
Morbius rank. Dude,
is it D or is it Morbius?
I don't know. It's
because Captain Marvel's a good character. She's cool.
She is cool, but it's I
but
don't even remember the movie.
The MCU Captain Marvel. I don't know why they made her so. Unlikable, so boring.
Yeah,
it's
her backstory.
Yeah,
just
I saw this movie once when it came out, and that was because I felt like I had to. Endgame was coming out.
Yeah.
She was the next big superhero.
Yeah,
I remember.
She was the one that was supposed to kill Thanos. I thought.
Yeah, but she was so boring. Every single other Marvel character has some kind of redeemable or cool quality about them. She didn't really. She was just badass, but it didn't feel earned. She was. Yeah. She had all these special powers, but that didn't make her cool, it didn't make her interesting or fun to watch on the screen. And maybe that's the fault of the writers, probably is the writers, because I think Brie Larson is a decent actor or actress, but
Yeah.
it's just not a good movie, and I feel like
They just didn't do it justice.
they could have fleshed her character out more, could have made her more interesting, more energetic, or even like you don't have to be energetic to be a cool character.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. You just have to have like a way.
it'd be interesting.
Yeah,
Like have some charisma. It was just, and Nick Fury was weird in this movie. The Skrulls were underutilized.
Yeah,
Hopefully
they
with
could use
Secret
more.
Invasion, that'll be.
Oh,
Yeah, because I haven't watched it the first couple episodes
I
yet.
know, it just came out. I want to see it so bad.
So hopefully that'll kind of flesh her out. But like, no one liked Captain Marvel to the point where instead of her having her own sequel, they renamed it to The Marvels or Miss Marvels or no, The Marvels.
Yeah, something like that.
And so now it's like a team up movie instead of her own
Like,
sequel.
own solo movie.
Because she was supposed to be like the next Iron Man, but no one
Yeah.
liked her, so she's not anymore.
Well, I feel like that's like, I don't think follow the comics. Like, I don't know. Like,
I don't think they followed. I think the comics follow the MCU now.
really.
Yeah, because I heard like Kamala Khan from Miss Marvel died in the comics recently,
Yeah.
and now they're already planning to bring her back, but with her MCU powers instead.
Yeah.
But don't take my word up on that because I don't read the comics. That's just what I've heard from.
I don't read it
from-
either, so
yeah.
I don't even know.
So I'm gonna put it. Do you think it's as bad as Morbius?
Okay, we can do D tier. Well, we can bump it up to D tier. That's
Okay,
fine.
I think there's one other movie that I think is as bad as Morbius, but we'll get there. Winter Soldier. Don't kill me. I don't know if I've ever sat down and watched this one all the way through.
I don't even remember. You can put it on that.
'Cause
I've not seen.
When I was talking to my dad about this, okay, anybody who's like a big Marvel fan, they're watching this, they're probably gonna crucify us for this.
Yeah.
But when I was talking to my dad, he was like, "Oh, Winter Soldier is an S tier," and I was like, "Gee, about that, yeah, I haven't seen it." And
I feel like I saw it so long ago.
yeah,
That I shouldn't speak on it because it's like I don't know what I'm talking about.
let's watch it this weekend,
Alright.
and
Yeah.
I'll put it in the description or
We'll
something.
update it, like we just
Yeah.
watched Winter Soldier.
So,
It was
have not
S
seen,
tier,
but
it
I-
was a
From
bad-
what I've seen, I feel like it'd be like A
Yeah.
tier probably. First Avenger, what you think?
I mean, for
The first Captain
First
America.
Captain America. Okay, first Captain America was kind of sick. Like it kind of had its own way. Like it's just this normal kid having to go to the army. I think he got drafted or something.
Yeah,
But they pull him aside and it's like, we're doing this kind of experiment, and he does the experiment for him, and it turns out he just comes out with super strength. And I feel like they were saying like the experiment wasn't a wholly like a totally like 100%.
yeah.
Like it wouldn't work. It couldn't work, but he comes out and he's ready to go.
He's shredded.
But
I like the whole wartime aspect of it. That was pretty cool.
I also haven't seen that movie in forever.
Yeah, I'd say a lot of the Phase 1 movies, it's been a minute. It's
Yeah.
been a long
Like, I
time.
know the villain was Red Skull.
Yeah. And
Like, to be honest, like I
the
don't know.
Tesseract and all that.
Yeah. That kind of introduced the Tesseract and like Infinity Stones. I didn't even know back then it was an Infinity Stone. I guess.
Yeah, me neither. I mean, I don't think anybody in the mainstream really even knew what an Infinity Stone was.
Yeah.
And that's so cool. That's what makes Infinity War so cool. It's because this like wacky cosmic like idea of, Thanos and the Infinity Gauntlet and stuff was just so easily told to
Yeah.
the mainstream, and that's why that just solidifies Infinity War as another S tier. So
Yeah.
First
I guess
Avenger.
First Captain America. We could just put
Think-
C tier.
C tier?
C tier.
Okay.
It's like
yeah,
it's a movie that like it's okay.
it's got some cool action scenes
It's got
though.
some cool action scenes. I say C tier. I say C tier.
I say C.
I
Yeah.
say C because I haven't seen it.
Actually,
So.
can we move it up to B because the next one? I think let's move it up to B. Civil War. What do you think about Civil War?
I feel Civil War was kind of mid. I mean,
Okay,
it's just,
I thought this was gonna be our first like major disagreement because
I don't know.
I actually really don't like Civil War because it was such a big deal when it came out, and I remember
Yeah.
it was the whole Team Cap or Team Iron Man
Yeah.
idea where, who's gonna win, like which team's gonna come out on top and stuff. But deep down, no one's gonna nothing's gonna happen. They still gotta team up at some point.
Yeah.
But I think the whole concept of it is pretty cool, and the
Yeah.
introduction of Spider-Man was just so.
Yeah.
That was so
everyone
cool.
Everyone was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Like everyone loves
Yeah.
Spider-Man, and everyone thought it was gonna be kept in the Sony movies, but
Yeah.
got over to Marvel, it was like.
I think Tom Holland was a perfect cast, but we can talk about that more in a little bit. But
Civil War, I guess I give it. Should just give it like C.
Let's give it C tier because you know the airport fight scene was
That
so
was really
cool,
cool.
and the Captain America and
Yeah.
Iron Man and Bucky fight at the end.
Yeah.
Bro, that was cool.
Yeah.
Let's put it in B tier.
Okay.
You think B tier or C tier?
Yeah, whenever they fight at the end was actually.
Yeah,
I've
that's-
seen
yeah.
that recently and it was pretty sick.
Yeah, you know that one shot where it's like.
Yeah, and like there's a
Yeah.
whole like, makes a
That's cool.
cool effect.
All right.
Is this the new Doctor Strange?
Okay, so Doctor Strange. It's
which
alright.
one was this?
This is the first
The
Doctor
first
Strange.
one?
Yeah, it's cool.
It
The
was
visuals
cool.
are awesome.
Yeah, like I feel like with Dormammu.
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 I read a bunch of memes
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah. Dormammu.
Yeah, it's cool. I think Benedict Cumberbatch is a really good Doctor Strange.
Yeah, I
Perfect
feel like
casting.
He fit the role really good.
Yeah.
But I just the visuals are great. Like whenever he goes and
Ancient.
fights the villain,
Yeah.
that it's a very good like it's a cool villain.
So if we go super in depth on every single one of these movies, we're gonna be here for like an hour and a half. So
Oh
I feel
my
like we're
God,
gonna
yeah, I feel
for
like
some of these that
it's
we're not
already
the biggest
been-
fan on, we'll just kind of throw them up on there.
It's already been like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
We're gonna go through these
All
like
right.
an hour later.
I know. All right, let's just throw Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
C tier.
C tier.
C tier.
Yeah, C tier can be like our average.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the next few ones we're gonna talk about for a minute because some of these are really good. Endgame.
Yeah.
What do you think?
What do you say for?
What-
Endgame was like.
Do you think it's an S tier?
Yes, bro.
Okay.
Endgame, the ending where like everyone just like I don't know, they're like they're down, they're defeated. Out of the end, you just see like so many holes and like, of course, if you saw it in theater, it's way different.
That was probably the best
Yeah.
theater experience I've ever had.
The
Ever.
energy of the crowd was like, everyone was like, oh my god,
Yeah.
like everyone was clapping, everyone
Yeah.
was just going absolute nuts.
That one guy farted.
Yeah. Pardon when Iron Man died. Sorry.
Or
If you haven't seen the movie.
Avengers. Assemble.
Simple. Yeah.
Assemble.
Me and him saw the movie like a couple weeks after it came out, or a month after they re-released it, saying they would have like a cool scene at the end. Was not. It was, like,
Lies.
yeah.
Ooh. Lies. Okay.
It was like a PSP.
Yeah.
Like of Hulk jumping from a building. It was horrible. But we were watching it at the when they all come out, they're all about to have that massive fight of the last movie, where Captain America pauses as a symbol. Between the pauses, some dude was like assemble, and everyone was just like, bruh.
Ruined the
'Cause
tension.
there was people there that probably haven't seen the movie.
Yeah. Oh, because we were talking about like how Iron Man dies and Loki dies. Or no, that was an Infinity War. But we were talking about all sorts of spoilers.
You what?
And then, and then the family next to us was talking about how their mom had like liver failure and had been in the hospital for weeks, and they hadn't been able to see the movie. And I felt so bad because we were talking about the ending. So yeah, I feel like the ending does give it close to S tier, but like the time travel was okay. It's an S tier. Think about it. It's an
I
S
feel
tier.
like it was just like everyone said there's been nothing that has been so good as Endgame. since
Yeah,
then.
it was just such a cathartic like release of like all the storytelling at once. You know, like 20 movies, and then that just being the end. I think it was a great ending. I think it resolved a lot of the characters, their arcs. I think it was great.
Yeah, because there are some characters that just left off.
Yeah, I didn't know whether to put it in A or S tier, but I think
I'd say.
I think
say
S tier
S.
because that was probably the best theater experience I've
Yeah,
ever had.
Like, you go to theaters now, and all those commercials for like Cinemark or whatever,
Yeah.
and everyone in the crowd's like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah.
And it's like I was talking to someone and I was like, that's not how it is. Like the only movie that I've seen that it's like that was like the Spider-Man movie when all three Spider-Mans came in.
It was so cool,
Everyone's
bro.
like, oh my god! And whenever Cap picked up Thor's hammer.
See,
that's why that movie could be put in S tier because
Yeah.
that scene was absolutely.
I remember just seeing like,
everyone knew it from like
yeah.
whenever they in Age of Ultron. I'm pretty sure that's which Avengers it was, and he kind of like shifts the hammer, and everyone's like,
Yeah.
probably could move. He probably could have moved it then.
Yeah, he could have, and it still would have been just as cool.
Yeah.
But I feel like with Endgame, it was
Saving
just
it
so
towards the
earned.
end.
It was so earned. So yeah, I think S tier. We usually go see every single Marvel movie together, and I think we have for all of Phase 4. But we didn't see this one together.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
No, Endgame.
Yeah,
We didn't. We saw it together, but after we'd already seen it.
Yeah, I remember seeing it with another group of people, but I don't know. It was still really
Still really fun. Guardians of the Galaxy. These characters are my favorite comic book characters, hands down.
I know. I feel like that movie, like I was cracking up the entire time. I love 80s, kind of that music, 80s
Soundtrack is so good.
70s kind of soundtrack, like was absolutely awesome. Like the music track, I say was an S tier.
And the whole prison scene in the beginning.
Yeah.
So cool.
Like I feel like that group of characters was one of the best group of characters they've had in the entire MCU. Like it was genuinely fun to watch, especially that first one. Really great.
I feel like this is the worst out of the trilogy, though, because Ronan is such a bad villain.
I feel like he was pretty. I feel like he introduced like another the Power Stone.
That's true, yeah.
And like, he was working with Thanos. I mean, I feel like he was just some random like dude with a hammer, but like, I feel like he's
alright.
He was not the best villain, but he was also like an okay.
For that, I want to give it the B tier, just because of the villain. The dance off at the end was hilarious. Groot dying at the end, that was crazy. But for that, I kind of want to give it a B tier. Yeah, I feel like we should put it in the B tier. Would you agree? Cause
I'd say A.
You think A? Okay.
Because S tier would make it if the villain was great.
So
I'd say A.
Okay, A tier. Guardians 2.
Guardians 2 with Ego.
I do think this might be my favorite Marvel movie. I think it's tied with Infinity War, No Way Home, and Guardians 2 for my favorite Marvel movies.
I don't remember much. I kind of remember.
It's just, I think,
kind of crazy.
Yeah. I have a problem with a lot of Marvel movies where it's like the ending, Act 3 where everything just kind of blows up and, big old fight. I kind of like zone out because there's just no story being told.
Yeah.
But the whole scene with Gamora where she has the rocket strapped to her shoulder and she's like shooting it at her sister and all that. That was crazy.
That was pretty sick.
And I think Ego is such a cool concept because he's actually linked to the main character, Star-Lord. It's his dad.
Yeah.
But he's some alien god thing.
Yeah, alien god being has
planet.
Yeah.
And who married and killed his mom with the cancer and all that, which is crazy.
That was such a crazy fucking turn.
And I just with a lot of Marvel movies, it's why are they fighting? Why? But this one feels earned,
Yeah, he killed his mom. Like the fuck.
And Yondu, coolest. He was probably my favorite.
What about that? That was in that movie.
And the baby and baby Groot and I almost said baby Gronk.
Baby Gronk, Riz is up, Libby down.
Yo,
baby Gronk.
Riz is up, Rocket Raccoon, and but I like their whole dynamic and Peter and Gamora. Can we put it in S tier?
All right.
Do you agree with that?
Yeah,
If we can put the first one in A, I want to put the second one in S.
Right, yeah, I agree.
This might be a hot take, but I think S tier. I think it's a really, really great movie. Far From Home.
Far From Home, that was pretty good. I feel like
It's all right.
I liked what's his name? I forgot what his name was. The dude with the space helmet.
Mysterio.
Mysterio was kind of a cool.
Brush up on your Spider-Man lore, bro.
Forgetting my facts here, but I don't know. I feel like he was a pretty decent one. I feel like this was a decent movie.
Yeah.
And the water monsters and all that, and everything was used with drones.
Yeah. It was cool, and I liked
Interesting movie.
Zendaya and Tom Holland. I think their arc was pretty good in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like we don't have to talk about this one much.
B tier, I'd say.
B tier? Yeah. Up you go. Hulk. I haven't seen this one.
I've seen it. I saw it
good?
a long time ago. It's a decent movie. But since you haven't really seen it, I'd say you'd probably give it a D tier.
D tier? Yeah.
No one really knows about it, but it was an interesting movie.
Iron Man 2.
Iron Man 2, that was with that dude with the electric whips and shit.
Yeah.
That was a kind of a okay villain.
So, it's been so long since I've seen this one. You're gonna have to review it because I
think it was cool. He had this kind of technology that had electrified whips, and it was kind of cool because it was whenever Iron Man first had that kind of Iron Man suitcase, and he would put it on the floor and he'd step in it.
Oh,
and
yeah.
That scene was badass.
Yeah.
It's up and it's has this fucking cool ass music, and he's the Iron Man suit's just building around him, and it closes and makes that
just that suit up is so cool.
Yeah.
And they introduced Black Widow in this one too.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. So just give it I say give it a C tier.
Yeah, I agree with that. Iron Man 3, I feel like also suffers.
That was like a movie that everyone forgot about.
Yeah, I feel like it also suffers from the forgettable villain trope, which is
What was it?
The Mandarin? I think his name was.
Dude, I don't even remember.
Yeah.
So weird.
But the scene where all of the suits blow up, I feel like gives it. It's been so long, like I said, like these like first few phases. I never really loved the Iron Man movies, so I feel like maybe put it in C tier.
Yeah.
Iron Man 1.
Iron Man 1 was a classic.
That's a classic, yeah.
Like the scene where he goes, you know, in the desert and everything blows up.
Yeah.
He's in there and he has it. Like his origin story is crazy. Coming out of this, like, you know, I don't want to be wrong here, but like somewhere in the Middle East, like camp, and like he builds his way out. He builds the first ever like Iron Man suit.
Yeah.
He creates something that's like keeping him alive with all the the shards that are in close to his heart. Or doesn't he replace his heart with the thing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, with the arc reactor.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is totally cool. Like him busting out of there and like killing everyone and you know.
I feel like this is a story-driven movie.
Yeah,
you know, it's like we don't really get that with Marvel anymore.
Story,
you know, because people didn't really know Iron Man when this came out. I mean, I was young when this movie came out, so I just explosions are cool. But when you grow up and you watch it, it's like it was a
pretty good
intriguing character with a good story and a good character arc. So I feel like
I give it an A tier.
A tier? I feel like that's reasonable.
It was like it really kicked off Marvel, I think, for me.
Yeah, definitely. Black Panther.
Which one is this one?
This is the first Black Panther.
Okay.
Where's Wakanda Forever? It's right here.
I just watched Wakanda.
Okay, we can. You watched it last night.
Yeah.
We can talk about it. We can talk about it. But the first Black Panther, I love this movie. I love the first Black Panther.
I feel like it was a great first movie for introducing a new character.
Yeah, T'Challa is. I feel like this is the best solo Marvel movie. Guardians is like a team movie. I feel like.
Yeah, but like the Iron Man solo movie and I feel I don't know.
This is a solid A tier for me. I think Killmonger's awesome, even if it is like the kind of villain fighting copy of hero trope. I think Killmonger is an interesting character.
And I feel like he had different views on how he wanted to run things.
Yeah.
Their ideas clashing, and how like the story of how his dad killed his dad, or like her dad killed his uncle, and like kind of exposing secrets of the Wakandan.
It's like
kingdom,
not some perfect utopia and stuff.
It's not so perfect, all hidden as you think it is. There is some flaws, but this guy's really trying to come in and mess things up.
And Black Panther is just such a likable character.
Yeah,
rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman.
Dude, R.I.P.
I feel like all the characters in this movie are really likable. Like Shuri's cool. I forget what the queen's name is. She's cool.
Ramonda.
Yeah, because you just watched it. But we'll talk about their characters in the next one. I feel like this has to be maybe S tier. I think the only thing that would be holding it down is the really shitty CGI at the end. The fight scene where the train and all that. I feel like it has to be A tier for that because the CGI is really bad at some points.
I'd say A tier.
But everything else about this movie is perfect. I love Black Panther. Homecoming. I love this one too.
I feel like wasn't that the first one that came out?
Yeah, that was the first one.
First one. Yeah, I feel like that really had a great kickoff to it. The villain was pretty cool too. How it was like the dad or
Vulture.
Dad.
Yeah, it was the dad of his love interest.
Yeah, and he was pretty crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like Spider-Man is just an all-around even character.
Mm-hmm. And I like the low stakes Marvel movies.
Yeah.
And this is kind of like a on the street kind of. Yeah. That's what Spider-Man's for.
Your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Exactly, not your friendly neighborhood cosmic Spider-Man.
As other Spider-Man.
Yeah, we'll get there. And I like the relationship between Spider-Man and Iron Man. So I feel like this one.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe A tier. It's better than Far From Home.
Yeah.
Thor. I don't really like this one. I really don't.
I can't remember. Just give it a half.
Give it a C tier. Yeah. I feel like the Thor movies aren't really worth talking about. I mean, this one's better than The Dark World, and that's for sure.
Yeah.
But I think Loki again is a cool villain, and
and you find out about his kind of origin story too. Like he was from the Bifrost. He was made from the Bifrost or something like that. And saved him, and there's a little tension between like brothers and who wants to rule and who doesn't. So
I like Heimdall as a character.
Yeah, cool.
Jane Foster's cool. So yeah, we can put it in C tier. Maybe, yeah, C tier.
yeah, C tier's fine.
The Dark World. I don't even want to. I don't want to fucking talk about this
I
one.
don't remember
Yeah.
what happened.
Yeah.
It's like Jane gets sick from like something and.
Yeah, it's like that introduces the red and which one's the red Infinity Stone?
Oh, reality.
Yeah, it introduces that one, I think.
Yeah. I think so.
I remember
Ether.
when this came out, my parents took me to go see it in the movie theaters, and I was so excited because we were able to go to the movie theaters.
Yeah.
So I feel like I like that one a little bit because of this one, because I have such a like strong memory of it.
Mm-hmm.
But then I don't even remember anything about the movie. So
It's not worth talking about.
D tier. Thor Ragnarok.
I feel like Ragnarok was a great Thor movie. It's one of the
hell
greatest,
yeah.
probably one of the greatest Thor movies.
It's a top 10 Marvel movie.
Yeah, it definitely is. Like I've rewatched it multiple times.
Yeah, doesn't get old.
Just seeing, the villain, Hela was such a
Yeah.
good villain. Like, it's kind of like a family feud kind of thing. Cause she, they technically
Yeah.
is her sister, and wanted to take over the throne. And I feel like the ending scene was so great. It was sad, but it's also great at the same time. Like,
Yeah.
problem taken care of by releasing, I forget what his name is, the fired big skull.
Yeah, I don't remember what his name is, but the first scene where like it plays that one song. What is that song that the? What is that song called?
I don't know.
Say the rock fans are gonna roast me in the in the comments.
It's not
Don't worry, no one's
no,
watching.
it's,
So
no, it's not Welcome to the Jungle.
nah,
It isn't that.
Immigrant Song.
Maybe.
no, I don't know. I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Okay. But dude, that's the intro scene's
Yeah.
so cool. It's a great
Yeah.
movie.
And-
Stan Lee's cameo.
Yeah, that too, and also when you see like Thor's hammer break, you're like, what?
Yeah.
It's like I thought it was indestructible. Like I thought nothing
Yeah.
in the world could break this dude's hammer, but you see her just touch it and it crumbles to the ground. So
Crazy. A tier.
yeah,
A tier.
A tier definitely.
For sure. It's not an S tier, but it's an A tier. WandaVision.
You don't like WandaVision?
Oh my God,
Dude,
okay.
I love WandaVision.
This-
Was so creepy.
This is where I feel like this is the wall that the MCU hits. My dog wants in so badly. Let's let him in. Let's see what he says. What's up, bro? Wanna come over here and bark at me? Yeah, so this is kind of like the wall that the MCU hit at this point. The first like 2 or 3 episodes of WandaVision, I was like so on board. This is so cool.
Well, my opinion is I don't think I was very hooked on the first, kind of episodes because
Really?
it was so like, what the hell is going on? Like they're just in this gray world,
Yeah.
and then, but I did like the concept of how, as the episodes went on, it got so more realistic. Like color came in on one episode, and like different kind of like more modern things kept just randomly appearing because she was kind of realizing what she did.
Yeah. But Wanda's not a likable character. I don't like her
Well,
motivations.
yeah,
I
know,
don't.
but I feel like that kind of came through in
And
in the other movie, but I feel like how she like had a whole town under a spell, that it was like the 70s, or it kept like going
Yeah.
on. They would like and it was also evil at the same time and creepy because she trapped the entire town, like took away people from their families and all that. But I feel like just like the other, at the end when like other Vision comes in. Like,
I think there's one thing that I think you're forgetting that could totally knock this show down to a D tier or C tier for you.
what?
Quicksilver. They had the X-Men Quicksilver, Evan Peters. They had him in the show, and everyone's like, "Oh my God!" Like
Yeah.
X-Men in the MCU now, and they just make a boner joke, and he's gone.
Really?
Yeah, remember his name was Ralph Boner.
Yeah. He was really. He was a cool character. Hey, there's a dog in here.
Bro, he's like.
Bro, he be smelling me because I got that dog.
But yeah, I feel like this. I think Agatha was a stupid villain.
Yeah.
And I think this one suffered from the fact that everyone was so excited and made so many theories that it just felt disappointing in the end.
Yeah.
I don't like Wanda. Vision's a cool character. I think she's
Yeah.
cool.
Vision's a cool character.
Well, I don't like what they did with Wanda. I love Scarlet Witch. I think she's a cool character, and I loved her in all like the animated shows and all that. But I want to put this one in D tier. I really do.
I mean, I didn't enjoy it as much. Like, I just felt like it was kind of cool. Like, it was kind of eerie and creepy because they'd be like,
Yeah.
what do you mean? Like, it was just kind of the whole mind control thing.
Yeah.
Kind of like really creepy.
Yeah. Okay, maybe C tier because I did like the first couple episodes.
Yeah, okay.
Do you agree on C tier?
Yeah, C tier.
Is that alright?
I can agree on that.
Okay. Did you ever watch this one, Falcon and the Winter Soldier? I watched the first couple episodes.
It was alright. I give it D.
B? I don't really want to talk about it that much because I don't really care.
Loki? Bro.
Hell yeah.
S-tier,
Yeah, that's
S-tier TV show.
Yeah.
Dude. Loki was the best TV show they've come out with Marvel. Like,
Yeah.
it was so, like, every episode, you're just left jaw dropped.
Yeah.
Holy like, I want to see the next episode right now.
Yeah.
I remember it was, like, summertime, and I was, like, waiting. I was, like, I would tell one of my friends I was with, and I was like, dude, Loki's coming out, an episode's coming out, like, at 7, like, I gotta go watch it. Like, even though, like, I could watch later, I was like, I gotta
You
go
wanted
see
to
it.
watch it as soon as possible because it was so
great.
cool.
Like, the TVA, how they introduced that, and,
Such an
like,
interesting concept.
you know, I was also gonna say, you know, the TVA, they protect the timeline,
Mm.
but you know how also in, like Spider-Man.
Yeah,
like
where were they in
Spider-Verse.
Spider-Man?
Yeah,
Or like at least in No Way Home. Where were they?
yeah, like, because, you know, like the animated Spider-Man, they introduced
Yeah.
the Spider-Verse.
I don't think that Spider-Man is canon though. I don't think Spider-Verse is canon to the MCU. No.
Really?
But No Way Home is.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know why the TVA wouldn't be there because it's the same kind of thing.
It's the same thing. So I was like, why is there 2 protectors of the timeline?
Yeah, but that doesn't really affect Loki. That affects the other movies.
Yeah. Well, I did like how they took the Loki from Endgame when they went back in time and actually accidentally messed stuff up where he took the Tesseract and dipped. That they went in and fixed the timeline and
Let my dog out.
they went in and they fixed the timeline, but that version of that Loki ended up, you know, escaping from TVA, exposing them for having, like, their leader was bad, and like he meets like another Loki, but it's a girl Loki.
Yes, Sylvie.
Yeah,
She was a cool character. I really liked her.
And you felt like they had some like weird like kind of like they like kind of like liked each other.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird because they're like the same person, but at the same time they're different. What was the word that they called them for like same people but different?
Variants?
Yeah, variants. Like basically different people from different
Old Loki,
different universes.
Crocodile Loki, that was cool.
Yeah, that was like all the different Lokis introduced. Like that was really
Hang
cool.
at the end, bro.
Yeah.
I feel like that's an S tier show.
Okay.
That's an S tier show for sure.
They I don't know. They kind of introduced like the idea of I think the multiverse, right?
Yeah. This was the multiverse
Yeah.
show. And this is the only Marvel TV show where I was down to watch it every single week.
Every time it came out on Disney Plus, I was like,
Yeah, I think that's the only show that I think is worth actually watching all the way through.
Yeah, I can't wait for season 2.
Oh, yeah.
It's coming out soon.
Hopefully that's good.
I'm gonna watch it.
Shang-Chi, we went to go watch this one together.
DC movie, I give it a B. It had great visuals. The villain was kind of contradiction because it was his dad.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like, oh shit.
Third act was kind of boring, but still like the action was cool to watch. It's cool to have an Asian superhero.
Yeah, and I feel like his powers are pretty dope.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I don't really have much to say on Shang-Chi. Cool movie, forgettable in some bits, but it's alright. Black Widow.
I don't really like that.
I don't like it at all, really.
Morbius tier.
I think Morbius tier because I think it demolished Black Widow's character. I don't think she was like cool at all. I think it ruined the idea of her, her sacrifice in the end of Endgame. Yeah. Even if like it didn't like undo anything, it just felt like wrong to have a Black Widow movie. The special effects were horrible, pretty much all throughout. Taskmaster was completely obliterated. That was an awful villain.
Yeah.
I feel like we got to put it in the Morbius tier, which is pretty much F tier. I don't know. I don't know if we explained that, but I think that's F tier.
Because everyone knows Morbius was an absolute horrible movie.
Masterpiece. Yeah.
Where is it?
It's right. It's right here. We'll get there. What if? Did you watch it? Did you watch it?
You're gonna have to
I watched it.
This one 'cause I don't even.
It had some stinkers. It had some really great stuff. I think it was episode 4 with Doctor Strange, where he's trying to bring his girlfriend back, and he goes crazy from doing it and gets locked inside his own dimension. I think that's honestly not peak Marvel, but up there with peak Marvel. I think that episode's fantastic. The episode where T'Challa was Star-Lord. Rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman again, because that was such a cool episode. The rest, it's just not very good. Forgettable, boring. I don't think Captain Carter was that cool. I don't remember. Oh, and then the ending with I said we talk about this with Ultron, Vision, Thanos mix. So Ultron, Vision, it's like the same person, I think, at the ending. Well, like the last episode, completely obliterates Thanos, like slices him in half, like completely defeats him, and then he takes the Infinity Stones and he becomes like some like all powerful being, like God.
Who does?
Ultron, Vision kind of thing. I don't remember what they called him, but yeah, he becomes some like godlike creature, and just goes runs rampant and like destroys everything. And the people that we saw in What If had to like team up across the multiverse and destroy him. And for some reason, the Killmonger character was like turned evil and tried to take the Infinity Stones again. And then they all get like locked in the dimension with bad ending.
Everywhere.
Yeah, it was bad ending. It had 2 or 3 good episodes, and that was it. So I think it should go in C tier just because episode 4 and 2 were so good.
Yeah.
Hawkeye. I don't want to talk about this one.
Nobody was watching that one. I will tell
F
you
tier.
that.
F tier. Kingpin was in it, and he went absolutely nowhere. Hawkeye is a boring character. Kate Bishop was also, she's okay. I don't really remember much about her. And we have another stinker next, dude. Eternals. Did you watch Eternals?
Yeah, Eternals for me, like, again, forgettable. Like,
Forgettable. None of the characters were likable.
Yeah, I feel like the visuals were cool.
That was. They looked
cool.
great.
So I'd say D for this one.
Some of the characters were really annoying, like Sprite. Remember the little kid one? So annoying. And this is the first Marvel movie to have a sex scene in it.
Really?
And I was in a packed theater with lots of kids, and it felt weird. I was like,
I don't remember that.
It didn't feel. Yeah, it had like a 5-second sex scene. It felt awkward. It felt like they were just doing it for the sake of being like progressive. Like, yeah, look, we put a sex scene in a Marvel movie that a bunch of kids are gonna watch and make it really weird in the theater. I really didn't like that.
Weird as hell.
I think all. I think all the characters were kind of boring and not good. D tier. Not as bad as Black Widow. Not very good either. No Way Home.
No Way Home was a good ass.
S tier.
movie.
S tier.
Dylan! You son of a bitch.
Really, we don't even have to talk about it, bro. That's an S tier movie.
That movie was just great. Like,
Man, what a time to be alive, bro.
Yeah.
That movie was so cool.
the most badass scene. You see all 3 Spider-Man swinging across and then just like pose up slow motion. Oh my god.
All the characters, all the villains, all the best, bro.
And like now there's like a theory going on that Andrew Garfield Spider-Man ruined Tom Holland's canon event of taking MJ.
Oh yeah.
And like, cause he saved MJ whenever he fucked up.
Yeah.
Since he was there and not supposed to be there, he ruined it. But also, you could think that Tom Holland Spider-Man's canon event was May dying.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Um,
But it was. Yeah, I feel like I can't really think about anything bad about this movie. I think it's a great movie. I think it was just fun to watch. Fun to talk about. Everybody was talking about this when it came out.
Because like the 3 Spider-Man coming together, like. Those were like Sony movies, but now
Yeah.
they're kind of incorporated in the MCU. So
Yeah. Spider-Man 2.
all these Spider movies, I feel like there's so many that they're all just. I feel like they could all be thrown into like they're just good movies.
Yeah.
Like
I know people love this movie. I don't really like the Raimi Spider-Man movies one bit. This isn't really like a Sony.
they were just like they were just like decent movies. They weren't just like anything crazy. I feel like, they were just great. They were just kind of good movies.
Yeah, I don't really feel like talking about these too much.
Because there's gonna be a lot. There's a lot of them.
Yeah.
in here.
And then the Amazing Spider-Man movies, I feel like these belong in. I feel like this one belongs in C.
C tier, yeah.
This one
Andrew
belongs in D.
Garfield. Yeah, they were just like they were all right. They weren't anything too special. But yeah.
Don't really feel like talking about them too much. I know people absolutely love the Raimi Spider-Man movies, and they're gonna hate us for not liking them that much.
In the comments, let us know. But I don't feel like going over that one.
Yeah. Venom movies.
I liked Venom as a character. Like I don't know about Venom itself, but Venom and Carnage was fucking dope. Like the red Venom. That was fucking sick.
So did you like the movie though?
The movie itself.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
I don't know. I feel like they try to make it funny.
Yeah.
Again, but like.
First Venom.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I say B tier.
It's bad, but in a good way.
Yeah, and I feel like C tier could be Venom and Carnage.
Yeah. This one was bad, but not in a good way. All right.
I haven't seen Daredevil.
I haven't seen Daredevil. Don't kill me.
I know it's a good TV show. I've heard a lot of people, but I haven't gotten around to it. So.
I don't watch a lot of TV. If my brother were here, he'd put it in S tier because he's obsessive over this show.
Moon Knight, never seen it.
I've seen it. It's C tier.
It's average.
It had a really good start, and then it turned into some kind of Indiana Jones film.
Yeah.
Not a very good show. Didn't love it. Had some good parts. The first two episodes were really good.
Multiverse of Madness. Oh, dude, that's a Morbius ass.
That's a Morbius movie.
Dude, that movie was like, it was horrible. Like, they were just trying to be funny, and it wasn't.
Yeah.
Funny. It was like cringe almost.
Well, it was the trying to be funny. The cameos for no reason.
It was so cringe, dude.
Awful movie.
And like, I was hyped for it when they released the trailer. Like, whenever you see like the three-eyed, Doctor Strange, and it's all like it's supposed to be like a horror Marvel movie, but it really
wasn't. I think they held Sam Raimi back. I think Wanda was awful in the movie again. I think Doctor Strange took a back seat in his own movie.
Yeah, really.
The Illuminati was awful. Completely underutilized. It was so disappointing to watch them die like 10 seconds after they were introduced. The CGI was just baffling, just so bad. The ending where he has the third eye and it looks horrible. That is unexcusable. Horrible movie, awful movie. I never want to watch it again.
Nope.
Morbius tier. I haven't watched Miss Marvel. Did you watch it?
Yeah, I've never watched it.
All right.
Thor. Love and Thunder. Okay. Me and this is probably like the most disagreeable we'll have with each other. I think Thor: Love and Thunder was a pretty.
I think it was a pretty bad movie.
I know you think that.
I think it is easily deserving of Morbius.
Really?
I think 100%. I mean, I think it was awful.
I think it was a good movie in a sense that like it just felt like it was fun, but I feel like it could be fun because I don't know, Thor just gives off that kind of vibe to me.
It just wasn't funny and it looked bad.
Yeah. I don't know. I just liked how like they implemented like I feel like what was the villain's name?
Gore.
Gore was a cool character. Like he had like the blade. He apparently could pick up Thor's hammer, which was really weird.
Yeah.
I thought no one could do it, but he can. Yeah, because how is he worthy?
And all the kids at the end being like worthy, and like him having a kid, and like the whole Jane. Like I think the stakes were too big for the movie.
Like how they took out Jane Foster was kind of stupid.
Yeah, if they just kind of focused on Jane Foster's and Thor's like relationship and how, like her dealing with cancer, that could have been a pretty good movie. But they had to add some grand ordeal with, world-ending stakes and that kind of stuff. Bad movie.
Can we get at least like D tier?
We could put it in tier. I think that's.
Like,
it's not. Yeah, it's definitely not as bad as these three.
Yeah.
I think we might have been too harsh on Black Widow. Do you want? Okay, we can talk about it. I haven't watched any of the Netflix shows, so we can put all these.
Not once. I haven't seen Punisher. I haven't seen whatever that one is.
Luke Cage and Jessica Jones. Haven't watched them.
She-Hulk. Morbius tier.
Morbius tier again.
That movie was absolutely.
The show. Did you watch it?
No.
I watched it. Yeah, I watched the first few episodes. I didn't finish it. I think it looked awful. It was so unfunny.
And I mean,
she was so unlikable too.
Yeah, and I know they were trying to make it like more mainstream, and they added like I don't know who is it, Cardi B?
No, Megan Thee Stallion.
Yeah. They started like bro, like no one wants to watch that. I mean, like, I know you're trying to be more like in the mainstream of everything Marvel, but like, dude, like keep it to y'all's thing. Like, no one wants to see it.
It's just horrifically unfunny and unlikable in every single way. Almost unwatchable to me.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people who really like it, and I know a lot of people who absolutely despise the show. I'm one of them. I think it's insulting just compared to all the other fantastic things that Marvel has produced.
Yeah.
Morbius, S
We
tier.
already
S
have a
tier.
We already have a tier.
No,
S.
that was a fantastic.
It has over 40 million.
4 more billion.
4 more billion.
Dude, that was such a funny meme. Did you watch it? Morbius? Have you watched it?
No, I saw like the first scene and was like.
I feel so bad for my girlfriend because she went out of town for a little bit, and then she came back. I think she went out of town. We hadn't hung out in a minute, and we wanted to go on a little date, so we got dinner, and we wanted to go see a movie. This was the only thing that was interesting in theaters at the time.
Yeah.
We were both sitting there just completely dumbfounded with how awful it wasn't even funny bad. It was. I think people think it's funny bad now because of the meme that went with it.
Yeah.
But if you watched
It was
it, you
just
were
horrible.
you were suffering the whole movie. It was awful. It was weird. There was a really weird scene where like he bites this girl's lip at the end, and then like kind of kiss, and like there's blood. It's weird. It was a really uncomfortable movie. Jared Leto is a horrific actor, even though he's 30
Hey,
Seconds
he's
to
in
Mars.
30 Seconds
You
to-
love
I
that band.
That band, but not a good actor.
Yeah, that was. I think this is the lowest of the low for superhero movies ever. This is, I think, the worst superhero movie ever made.
Yeah,
I think it is one of the worst blockbusters ever made.
Yeah.
Horrible movie. I think it should go. You think it fits in the Morbius tier? Yeah.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah. I'm Groot. Didn't watch it.
Oh wait, what is it? What is it?
I am Groot. It's like animated shorts.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
I didn't see that one. Legends. I think that's like a documentary style about the characters. Didn't watch it.
I didn't see it.
All right, Wakanda Forever. You just watched it last night. What'd you think? I watched it when it came out,
I don't
and
know, like-
yeah,
The beginning, it just cuts straight off to them just mourning like
yeah,
their brother, and then the way the scene where she's just trying to like make a printed heart-shaped herb and like, are they like heart-shaped herb or something like that. I was just like, and she wasn't gonna go with his brother before he died. Like, what? Why are you there? Like, that makes no sense. I know she was trying to like make someone like save him because
Yeah.
that's like what the Black Panther needs. But like, I know, like, again, you know, R.I.P. But he had to, you know, be taken out of the MCU. But
that's I'm so conflicted with this movie because I think Black Panther is a great character. A lot of people really love Black Panther,
yeah.
but I don't think this movie needed to be made.
Yeah, and like the villain was horrible, dude.
Namor?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was not.
Honestly,
cool.
no. If anything, Wakanda was so unlikable in this movie.
Yeah.
Like to the point where I was actually rooting for Namor and the underwater
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, like I just didn't like. I just didn't like.
It was such a long movie
Like
too.
what, a dude who can breathe underwater and he just has little like feathers on his
Yeah.
and he's just skipping in the air. Like,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, like it was okay. Like it was kind. I feel like them turning Shuri into Black Panther was like
Makes sense.
It makes sense, but the way how she became it was just weird. Like she sees Killmonger and like is she somehow like
Yeah.
Killmonger? But then at the end she like magically is like, oh, I'm not like him, and I decided to, let him live. To
Yeah.
create an alliance, which is like it's reasonable to also just like I don't know, which wasn't placed well, but
Yeah.
I give it a C tier.
You think C tier? Yeah, that's reasonable.
It was just like
It's cool action,
it
too.
was cool action too, like the water bombs and all that stuff, and like the underground thing was kind of cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was not really that good.
Not a very good movie. It was also so long, dude. That movie
yeah.
was.
So
I
unnecessary.
I was talking to a friend about it the other day, and he was like, "Yeah, I don't." He's like, "I don't know why it was so long." He said 45 minutes before the ending, he thought it was about to end, and then it doesn't, and then it doesn't, and then it doesn't.
Well, I mean, like,
That's
in
how
the
I
movie,
thought.
It was kind of sad too. Like her mom ends up dying.
Oh,
He
yeah.
dies, she becomes the queen.
Yeah.
And then also, I forget like what else happened. But oh yeah, you find out that Nakia had a baby with T'Challa. Like they have a
Oh,
kid,
that's
and then
right.
she have a
Yeah,
kid, so it's
yeah,
kinda
yeah.
Like, whoa, like, or they call him Prince. So apparently,
I forgot about that.
yes, yeah, he is. There is another king.
Yeah, it's cooler than Hulk's son at the end of She-Hulk. Did you ever? You didn't watch it?
Hulk has a son.
Yeah. Well, I'll show you later, dude. It's bruh.
Bruh. Moment.
Werewolf by Night. Did you watch it?
What is that?
Werewolf by Night.
No.
I didn't watch it. I know my dad and my brother watched it and they loved it, but I'm gonna put it in Have Not Seen. I'm sure it'd be like a solid A or B.
Christmas
Holiday
short.
special. Did you watch it?
It was actually pretty cool. It wasn't like it wasn't supposed to be anything great because it was so short.
Yeah.
But it was honestly really funny.
It's cute.
They end up like stealing like Kevin Bacon.
Oh, yeah.
And they're all like dancing. So I give it a B tier.
B tier?
It's like it's okay. Like I would give it C because it's just average.
Yeah.
Because it's Guardians, bro.
I love the Guardians, but I didn't watch this. I remember I was really busy around Christmas, so
Yeah.
I didn't get a chance to
I
watch
give it a
it.
B because it's Guardians,
Cool.
But it's not supposed to be like such a big movie. It's supposed to be a short.
Yeah.
Yeah, and on Quantumania, give it a D, dude. Just because it's kind of Ant-Man. It's
Yeah.
just like, it's not even worth talking about. They didn't even use...
King the Conqueror?
Yeah, they didn't use Kane well. Like, they made him seem... Everyone was like, he's the next Thanos. Like, they did not, like, even portray him that well.
Not anymore, because you know what happened with the guy who plays Kang?
What?
He, like, he got he's either arrested or charged with or under investigation for assaulting his girlfriend.
Holy shit.
So I don't know how much more of Kang we're gonna be seeing in the future.
Yeah, they might change it to a lookalike.
Yeah.
But yeah, they didn't portray him well, and then of course they made the big dude with the big head. I don't know what his name was.
MODOK.
Yeah, MODOK.
It just looks so bad.
Because in like the comics, he looks pretty badass.
Yeah.
But they didn't. He just looks so CGI'd.
I never watched it. I just think this is the first Marvel movie where I purposely didn't go see it in theaters. So
Cool concept, but they didn't do it that well.
Yeah.
Going back into quantum.
like Ant-Man is such a weird character to have to do something like high stakes, like big like that.
Yeah, because and add Kane and because Kane has a whole empire and the quantum realm.
Guardians 3.
Guardians 3 was pretty good.
I loved that movie.
That movie was great. I feel like it was a little long, and we've talked about this before, but too many explosion scenes.
Yeah.
But I feel like it was a great send off.
Totally.
For the movie, and at the end when you see like the new teams, pretty sick. I will say one critique is that they didn't give Adam Warlock justice.
I was just about to say that. Yeah, like they underutilized him.
Like he's such a cool character. And they hyped him up for so long, and like you've known about him since Guardians 1, I'm pretty sure, and like where he's with the Sovereign.
Yeah.
You see the tomb, and like I asked, Zach about it. So long ago, I was like, "Who's that?" It's Adam Warlock. But they made him seem just dumb. And I don't understand, like they took him out too late. They said, and like he's technically still like a kid and not fully developed. So I feel like maybe if they keep using him, he'll be badass.
Yeah.
And
who knows if we ever see the Guardians again, maybe he'll be a cool character.
Yeah, I think they say like they will return.
Yeah.
Like, in a different
Oh,
way.
that's right. Where it said Star-Lord or something would return.
Star-Lord will return, so he's not over yet.
Yeah.
But I feel like they'll have Guardians in like the next, because there's Avengers 5 and 6, or it's called Avengers. What's the new one? Secret Wars.
No. Yeah, Secret Wars.
And there's also another one.
Yeah. The Kang Dynasty.
Yeah.
But I think they're gonna be doing some changes because of the actor who plays Kang.
Yeah. True.
We'll see. Yeah. This is the one I was talking about where we watched it the other week, and I was like, I didn't really like it that much. I would have given like a 6 out of 10. And I thought about it. And it's a good movie, Yeah. I liked Rocket's story. I think that was fantastic. I liked the High Evolutionary. He was just a scary, evil villain,
I like that too. And they had like a whole other like fake Earth with like animals.
Yeah.
That was kind of funny.
I think Nebula. I didn't really like her that much, and but I think all the other not like core Guardians, like Cosmo or I guess Gamora in this one.
I like
kind
how
of.
they resolved Gamora's story.
Yeah.
She just goes and she's with the Ravagers now.
Yeah.
Because the whole movie kind of like Star-Lord's trying to get back with her.
Yeah.
But she doesn't remember anything.
And I'm glad they didn't do that.
Yeah.
What's the other guy's name? Craggle.
Craggle?
The guy with Yondu's brother, or he's cool.
The dude who has the red.
Yeah, the mohawk.
He was cool. I forget his name is, but yeah, he's a cool character.
Yeah.
I like him.
Totally. I think it's a solid A-tier movie.
Yeah, A-tier movie.
A-tier movie, and I feel like that's a great ending to our tier list because I haven't seen Secret Invasion.
Yeah, I will say no other movie I don't think it has.
And no one's seen Kraven yet, so.
I will say I am hyped for Secret Invasion. I feel like it's Marvel's next step into making it more serious.
Yeah.
There's no superheroes, so it's all just like getting down to business, like.
Yeah.
Agents going out. And I like how they're gonna like introduce like the scrolls and all that. Like I feel like it's gonna be a pretty good TV show, so I gotta watch it.
We'll put it in the description whenever we finish it.
Yeah, whenever we finish it, we'll let y'all know. But yeah.
All right.
This is our Marvel tier list.
What do you guys think? Roast us for not really remembering anything about Phase 1.
Let us know your opinion.
Let us know your opinions. What would you move around? What would you agree with? Let us know in the comments to our non-existent viewers.
Yeah. I'm not even filming this because nobody's watching.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, do you have any final concluding thoughts? Do you want to switch anything around?
I
think it's good.
I just say this is a pretty solid tier list. This is gonna be a pretty.
Yeah. Yeah.
Me and Zach.
Hey, you know how we do.
You know how we do all the time. But I will say, give us some ideas what should we do next. We're in the works right now. This is our first video ever.
Yeah.
We're looking to.
It's like a test.
Yeah, it's a test for us, but let us know how we did. But we're more content in the future.
All right, we love you guys. I'm Zach.
And I'm Dylan.
And thank you to nobody for watching. We'll see you guys next time.
Peace.